Thank you, Neil.
Assume you didn't hear mine?
Yes, I did. I thought I reported I heard yours. Yes.
The repeater seems to be a little bit noisier in my location, at least today.
Okay, this is KP4MD. We're live on YouTube now.
Thank you, Carl. KP4MD, this is N6EMF, and I'll be the net control tonight. So, good evening. This is Wilson, November 6th, Echo Mike Foxtrot, your net control operator for the River City ARC Slow Scan TV net. This net serves for training and practice in image transmission modes and meets Wednesday nights at 9 o'clock p.m. on the N6NA repeater on 441.30 megahertz. River City ARC's members and all licensed amateur radios are welcome to participate. If you wish to join the net or need to make a call at any time, please announce your call sign between transmissions and net control will acknowledge you. If an emergency should arise and you need a repeater, please contact net control by saying break break. A double break signifies emergency traffic. The net will stand by for you until the emergency is terminated or the traffic is moved to another frequency. Patients who wish to check in are asked to respond with their full call sign using the recognized ITU phonetic alphabet and their name. I will recognize each station before continuing. Any station who wishes to check into the net, please come now.
Alpha India 6, Delta Golf.
Lima 7, Hotel Quebec Romeo.
Kilo Papa 4, Mike Delta.
Whiskey 6, Bravo Sierra Tom. Carmichael.
All right, looks like we have a check. If we have 4 check-ins plus myself, AI6DG, Joel, KL7HQR, Neil, KP4MD, Carol, and W6BS, Tom. Do we have any other check-ins?
I'd just like to notify you that Mike, Kilo November 6 Juliet Golf Yankee, is watching us on YouTube.
Was that Kilo 6 Juliet Golf Yankee, Mike?
QSL.
All right, well, very good. Well, just want to say good evening to everybody and welcome in. I guess we can get started pretty quick here. And welcome, Mike. Let's see. So what I'd like to do is we'll kick off with Neil. You were the first, Joel, you were the first check-in, AI6DG. And if you're ready, go ahead and send your photo.
So first let's make sure I got a tone, so let me know.
Tone received. Thank you, Joel. Go ahead.
P120, this is, I went through all the things I received from ISS over the New Year's era, and I picked the one that I thought was best. None of them are perfect, but this one's not too bad.
AI6DG and 6EMF here. Joel, I will tell you that I goofed up with my receiver. I have the Yaesu FTM300 like you, and I didn't have it on the bottom tuner. I was tuned into the wrong tuner. I don't know what they call that. The bottom half of the screen was not activated on this repeater, so I fumbled around with all my stuff until I figured that out, and I only caught the bottom 30% of the photo. But all I can see is that you were trying to send an ISS photo, and I see your call sign AI6DG at the bottom and the RS OISS on the upper left of the bottom part. So my apologies for not being prepared. I was able to transmit but couldn't receive. So let me turn it over to Neil and see if he was able to receive your photo.
Well, I copied intermittently in here because it was operator error again. My signal link keeps on dropping, and I have to go back and reset the USB codec. But I did what I got. It was a picture, obviously from the International Space Station, because I see the RS. What is the RS 0 ISS? The call letters, and it looks like a group picture with a white background. Can't give you more details than that, and my apologies as well. I'm going to have to reboot the whole computer here, and so if you're going to send it to me, send it to somebody else, and I'll come back again. Back to that.
All right, KL7HQR, thank you for that. I'll go ahead and advance to Carol, KP4, Kilo Papa 4, Mike Delta, next on the list.
Okay, this is KP4MD, and we did get the picture that you could see up on YouTube, and it's I could see a group of youngsters. Looks like about 15 or 16, and probably I was guessing they were students, and I guessed right because down at the bottom it says Iruma first ARIS contact with Japan, which so I guess that was some kind of a classroom arrangement for communication with NA1SS. Very interesting. There are a couple of bands that you could see up in the upper third of the picture, horizontal bands, and I believe that might have been due to fading, Faraday rotation perhaps of the signal coming from the International Space Station when you have sudden deep fades in the signal coming in, and it drops out for a few of the horizontal scan lines. But otherwise, pretty clear. A few little colored pixels here and there from pave pause interference that we have on the repeater. So back to net control. This is KP4 Mike Delta.
Thank you, Carol. KP4MD and 6EMF, and thanks for that description of the photo. Very, very verbose, descriptive. Let me go to Tom for fun. Whiskey 6 Bravo Sierra. Were you able to copy the photo? Whiskey 6 Bravo Sierra, November 6 Echo Mike Foxtrot. All right, we'll give Joel a chance to describe his photo, and we'll be on standby if Tom wants to check in with an update.
Screen. I kept flipping the modes, and given that it was taking a long time to download, I thought, oh, maybe it's still a PD120 from last week. So then I got it on there, and I got an image, but as I flipped to PD120, it stopped the image, so I got 2/3 of the image. So I have the Aries 20th anniversary celebration on top in white, and then the 20th anniversary in blue, and then some of the noise bars that Carol was talking about go right through the 20, all the way across the screen. And then there's another band that goes through the box image of the kids. And from the kids that I can see, there's a kid on the yellow that's pointing perhaps, and then there's a kid in orange in the middle, somebody that's wearing red, and a big tall kid wearing white on the far right. But again, I cannot see the bottom of the screen, so that's what I've got. It's just I wasn't expecting that format.
All right. Well, thank you for that, Tom. And I'll turn it over to Joel, AI6DG. Joel, would you like to describe your picture now? N6EMF.
Well, not much to describe. When I heard that the ISS passes and slow scan was happening, I just set things up and left it there the whole time, and came back every once in a while and looked at what I had to receive. And some were good and some were bad. Well, none were good. Some were better. Yeah, and Carol, I think, hit it right on the nail about the fading. Whatever the cause, it's certainly severe. And I'm surprised that it seemed to happen all the time, every single image. But I need to get a disc cone, a lower gain antenna, so that I've got more even gain across the entire pass. But I'm not sure that would have made a difference on this image. It's always fun when these events happen. It's amazing that you're picking up better reception from something that's hundreds of miles away, or whatever their altitude is, up in the sky versus here on land. I guess the path loss is a lot less, and then you also don't have the curvature of the Earth to worry about. But back to that, AI6DG.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about antennas, I think it was last time, and that was a fun discussion to hear about the dipole. I forgot the name now that Carol suggested. A dipole that was two dipoles opposed 90 degrees to one another. And I'll find my notes, but yeah, I was thinking about that, and I'm wondering about a disc cone. That might work as well. Horizontal dipole is called a turnstile. There you go. There's my notes. All right. Well, thanks for that round of photograph discussion, and nice work to Joel. I wasn't able to copy most of it, but I'll try again. I think I'm ready now. So from here, let me see. I'll turn it over to Neil. Are you ready to transmit tonight, Neil? KL7HQR?
I'm going to try. I didn't have any luck receiving. Let me try transmitting.
N6CMF here, Net Control. You did good, Neil, KL7XQR. I've got a photograph that it came through pretty clear, nice color. I am going to be a little challenged. It presents a challenge for me. I'm going to have to figure out how to invert the photograph. It appears as though the photograph was inverted vertically, so it's upside down. But it looks like if I figure out how to rotate it, that would be nice. But for the moment, I'll just go ahead and report that it looks like a nicely set table, a small, like, dining table on a maybe a Persian-style rug on maybe a hardwood floor, and a really nice kind of decor there, a room environment, and looks like the table is set with a candle maybe and possibly a flower or I can't tell what's on the table, but it does have a tablecloth and a couple chairs there. So I don't know if I'm missing anything, but I do see a floor lamp in the background and something on the floor that I can't seem to make out. So window in the background as well. Let me turn it over to Kilo Papa 4, Mike Delta, Carol, and see if she wants to give a report.
Yeah, hello, this is KP4MD. Yeah, I have to agree with the description that Wilson gave. At first, I thought this was, I saw this really nice, looks like a Persian rug up in the air, and at first I thought it was maybe a flying carpet, but then I saw the furniture upside down, or actually laying on upwards on the carpet. So I thought, since you send a lot of NASA pictures, that this might be some kind of a weightless situation, perhaps something that you would put the astronauts through some kind of training where they would be upside down. I don't know how they would do that, with some kind of a centrifuge or something, but I don't think it may be any. There might be something like that in the space station, but I don't think they'd have anything so that kind of decor up there. So that was my original thoughts. Otherwise, it could be just a picture from Australia. Everything down there is upside down. So back to Net Control. This is KP4MD.
I love it. That was fun. Thank you, Carol, in 6EMF. Can't wait to hear what Neil has to say about it now. So let me make a round over to Tom, Whiskey 6 Bravo Sierra. Tom, were you able to copy?
Whiskey 6 Bravo Sierra. Again, I had no idea it was going to be PD 120, so it was just a bunch of gobbledygook when I got it. I flipped it over and found a white table, maybe with some chairs, but in the process of trying to save it, I lost it, so it's gone for me. I can't say what it would look like now, just from memory. What you described is what I saw.
Well, all right. That Mac-based SSTV program you're using, can't remember the name of it now, but I was wondering if it has an auto receive mode like MMS TV.
It auto receives during the daytime when I was using my HF radio, but it is not detecting what's coming across successfully. If I could get a hint of what it is, I'll have a better chance next time.
I appreciate the feedback. I think it's probably a helpful reminder to us when we're transmitting the photos, if we can remember to announce what mode or protocol or mode we're going to be transmitting in. I think that might help the group. Thank you for that, Tom. Okay, well then let's turn it over to, since I've got AI6DG. Joel, what's your assessment of were you able to copy?
There was a double in there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was it Tom? Were you trying to go W6BS?
I was just returning it back to you.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I'll turn it over to Neil. I'm sorry, Joel. Joel and Neil, they have the same sound to their name at the end. I don't know why I always get it confused. So my apologies, guys. AI6DG. Go ahead, Joel.
So if you go to the History tab and then right-click on the image and select Edit Image, it opens the image up in Paint, and you can then do a rotate, and I then did it a 200% to make it bigger on the screen. I'm not sure if you could save it and have it go into MMSSTV or not. But when I'm looking at it upside up, I see a nice looking room with white paneled walls and a window, a dark wood, well, I'm assuming it's wood, a dark colored floor with a nice rug in the center, and in the corner there's purple, some odd colored floor lamp, and two white or near white chairs on each side of a white tablecloth covered round table. Looks like maybe a stack of plates, or maybe a plate with silverware in it, maybe a wine glass, a water glass, a pitcher, or something like that. I don't think it was upside down, because looking at it from this perspective, I see off to the left, which would be right when it's not turned around, what looks like to me a smoke detector, like you would see in a ceiling. I don't know what the square thing next to it is, but that sure looks like a smoke detector in a ceiling to me. Back to net, AI6DG.
Yeah, well, thanks. Thanks, Joel. And I'm thinking this is either the Winchester Museum or the Mystery House or a practical, a very challenging visual image here. So, going back to Tom W6BS, I think he mentioned on Discord that he's using a Mac OS version of an SSTV software called Black Cat. So he's not using MMSTV right now. So I think that he might not have the same control layout as MMSTV. Okay, so let's see. We'll turn it over to Neil. Neil sent the picture, KL7HQR. Neil, do you want to go ahead and tell us what this photo is all about? It'll be interesting.
Well, KL7HQR, drum roll, and the prize goes to Joe. I got tired of sending NASA pictures. I wanted to divert a little bit. And I used to go to do some audits up in the UK, and this is a picture of a Oddfellows hotel in Chester, in Wales, and where I used to stay when doing some audits. And this is the ceiling of one of their rooms. They have very strange things, and I have a few other pictures that, given the chance, I will broadcast later. But this is the ceiling of an office, and so the picture is not upside down. It is correct, and it is a smoke detector, and probably maybe a speaker or something on the ceiling. But they have several very strange things along the way that I use. I stayed there twice. And by the way, looking at the picture that is on YouTube and the picture that I sent, the YouTube seems to be 10 times darker. Mine, the carpet is extremely well lit and the colors are bright, and looking on the YouTube looks like very dark. So, very good, Joe. You got it. Back to that.
Well, all right. Well, congratulations to you, Joel. AI6DG, you did great work, and let's get a round of applause out there for the YouTubers, or YouTube audience, K6JGY. Mike out there, give us a round of applause. Anyway, that's great. Thanks, Neil. And boy, I tell you, I mean, if you have a photograph here that's better than anything out there, you might want to appeal to have yours used on the internet and maybe take some royalties for it. How's that?
No, yeah, there's quite a few others. By the way, on a serious note, I would like to say that Tom brought up something that I think is very important. I, for one, will try to take to heart to indicate what mode we're retransmitting the next picture. I think we get used to using the auto mode, and so pretty good. Back to that.
Yeah, there's thanks for reinforcing that. Please do indicate the mode you're going to use, and I think that will help for folks that are using different operating systems, or just a good operating practice, I think. So that's great. Thank you. So let me go ahead down the list to KP4MD. Carol, are you ready for a photo? Did I miss you, Carol? You did this. Go ahead with a photo.
Yeah, okay, this is KP4MD. We did have feedback from Mike, KN6JGY. Mike says he's using the Multiscan 3B on the Mac, and it is auto-detecting the transmission mode just fine. So he's not having any problem with that. I don't know if that's the exact same software that Tom is using, but perhaps there's a setting that on the MMS STV, you put the receive mode in auto, and it does an auto detect of the mode. So I'm going to be sending a picture of Martin 1, and let's go ahead and pull it up here. And here it goes. Kilo Papa 4 Mike Delta. This is Martin 1.
Well, I can tell you this one's going to be good. N6EMF here has received or copied the photo fairly well. I will say that I probably need to fix the slant, but I just corrected that. And it looks like a woman on the left-hand side of the photo with a light background. She's got a ponytail and some bangs and some earrings on and a nice smile. She's looking sort of sideways. I forgot what we call that perspective on a photograph, but it's sort of a side view of her smiling at a giant snail in the palm of her left hand. And I'm wondering if she's what kind of snail that is. It's an ultra snail, I guess. So it looks like maybe I don't know. But anyway, let me say that that's my assessment. and I'll turn it over to Tom, W6BS. Were you able to receive that transmission, Tom?
This Whiskey 6 Bravo, sir. Yeah, I did. I got the woman in the ponytail. I didn't get the bottom part of the image, unfortunately, because there was a signal that came across and started the image with a bunch of static, and then Carol's started about a third down my screen. So I got the top part, and the rest was chopped off because of the noise in the beginning. And it is definitely a large snail. I forget the type of snail, but it's huge, and looking her straight in the face, and she doesn't seem to be afraid of it. She's got some pearl earrings, it looks, as well. That's all I can see as well, again with the white background.
Very good, Tom. Nice description. And let's see. Definitely a giant snail. We'll turn it over to Joel, AI6DG.
Well received, good quality, big snail. I wonder how heavy it is. Escargot, that's a meal. Although, for all I know, it's a pet, so it wouldn't be escargot, it'd be the pet. I wonder what they eat. Well, vegetation. So maybe you just hand it the leftover salad after dinner. I don't know. Yeah, banana snail. I'm trying to remember what the name of those large snails is. I don't remember. But yeah, there's a story here. Back to net, AI6DG.
Nice one, Joel. Thank you. KL7HQR. You want to give it a whirl on describing the photo if you're able to copy?
Yeah, I found the problem here. It was again a short between the headsets, operator error. Yeah, fantastic copy. No problem at all. Very clear picture. I agree with all the descriptions, but I didn't know the escargot could be sold by the pound. Either that, or that is the revenge of the escargot coming up to your theater near you. Quite impressive. I don't think I've ever seen anything that big. So, but very, very, very good transmission. Very good copy. Back to that.
Thank you for that description, Neil. How about Carol, KP4MD? Give it a whirl at describing your photo. Thank you.
Yeah, this is KP4MD. Yeah, that's very imaginative, thinking it's escargot. That would be, I guess she'd be looking at her meal if that were escargot. Actually, this is a giant African snail. And there was a rage about 6 or 7 years ago. It was quite the mode to use these for cosmetic facial treatment. It's very popular in Europe. The women would put these snails to crawl over their faces with their slimy foot or whatever they call it. And I guess it kind of does the dermabrasion, and it removes the rough top layers of the skin. And they would swear by it that this was an awesome thing, and it was quite, from what I understand, quite expensive and sought after. The problem was that some people were importing these into United States. These are from Africa, of course, and these snails do carry some parasites in them that could be very damaging to our agriculture. So the Department of Agriculture had put a prohibition on the importation of giant African snails. And if you come in to the country from some other parts, they would do an agriculture scan of your luggage and make sure you didn't have any of these snuck into your check-on luggage, because I guess it was a really major problem. But I don't think I would relish having the sensation of one of these things just crawling over my face and leaving a path of slime, no matter how good it felt. So back to net control is KP4MD.
Well, that's a wonderful story. Carol, I'm not sure if I may have been distracted for a moment, but did you say where you got this photo?
No, I didn't say where I got it, but I did capture it from the internet. It was actually on Google Plus, which unfortunately has been discontinued over a year ago. There were a really lot of good shared information on that social media platform. I'm really sorry that they discontinued that. Back to you.
All right, thanks for sharing that information. I think we'll take pause and check in with others. I'll just go through the list briefly and kind of in the same sequence, find out if there's any questions or comments. How about you, Tom? W6BS.
Whiskey 6 Browser. I was thinking about if I was going to send an image, I might change mine now, but I'll stick with what I was going to do. But I have something on the same theme. I didn't know exactly that the snails get that large, and I think you were thinking of banana slugs maybe, which is a local version without a shell. But I'll see if anybody else thinks of that. Back to net control.
All right, thank you, Tom. Let me go up to Neil, AI6DG. Any comments on the interesting photo?
You came to Neil with the 6DG, but okay. The only quick mention that I have to say that Carol put a visual image on my face, on my mind now. That's going to be kind of hard to sleep.
I'm going to get you back for that upside down kitchen setting, Neil.
I say again, I don't have anything intelligent to say. Go ahead.
Oh, I was kind of joking with you that I was teasing that I'm going to get you back for that upside down plate, dinner setting. I'll find a picture to twist your mind with. How's that? Sometime in the future, N6EMF. I'll go ahead to Joel, AI6DG.
Are you looking for a photo for me?
Oh, no. I was just looking to see if there was any other rounds of discussion. So if nothing else, I'll head over to W6BS for a photo.
No comment.
Go ahead, Tom. N6EMF here.
All right, give me about 10 seconds to see if I can get it to go. Last time I had to flip to Bluetooth again, so it'll take me a little bit to do it. So it'll just go unannounced.
Remember to announce your mode if you haven't already. I got from W6BS a photograph that has, I think I heard the term used last time, moire, but I'm not sure if that's an accurate characterization, but I do see a wavy pattern in the photograph, which is a landscape photo with maybe a river or a lake and some mountains in the sky in the background, along with possibly you in the photo holding a dog next to a lady, KS6WTF with K9 Lucy. K9 Lucy, I get it. But anyway, I could see enough to read the label on the top of the photo. A couple of happy people enjoying some leisure and recreation out there on a lake or a river somewhere. And you guys look great with your sunglasses and your big smile on there. N6EMF. Let me turn it over to Joel, AI6DG, for his interpretation and copy of the photo.
Wow, that is the weirdest sounding slow scan transmission I've ever heard, but that's explained by the image itself, which is not very good. I would call that a moire pattern. I don't know if it's the original or it got something to do with the conversion or anti-aliasing, but there's a crazy set of interference patterns, moire patterns across kind of the whole image. It's just much more visible on the top portion in the sky. But yeah, I got a kick out of the title up there also. W6BS in case S6WTF with K9 Lucy. Obviously, that's who it's a photo of. Sky, trees, lake. Looks like maybe there's some personal watercraft on the water to the left. But regardless, it's a nice sunny day, and it looks like they're having a good time. Back to net, AI6DG.
All right, that's great. Yeah, you know, I want to comment that Tom and Joel and I, we have the same radio, the Yaesu FT M300D, and we discovered right around the first of the year that the radio has a firmware update from Yaesu that became available, I think, on December 8th or 9th. I went ahead and spent one morning last week updating my firmware. It took me about 2.5 hours, and I couldn't tell the difference in my radio, but one of the things that they said was that they made some improvements to the Bluetooth, and I know that Tom is using Bluetooth. So let me, N6EMF here, I'll turn it over to the next person on the list for their interpretation of the photo. That'll be Neil, KL7HQR. Go ahead, Neil.
Roger. Well, I agree with the statement and the description very quickly. What comes across very strongly is happy times, big smiles, even with a marked pattern. And that reminds me when my wife was in a club meeting, and she introduced herself as W1 Foxtrot Echo, the wife. So very, very imaginative. Back to net.
All right, very good. Definitely good times on display out there. So, KP4MD, Carol, what would you like to say about the photo? Were you able to copy?
Yeah, okay, this is KP4MD. Yes, I copied pretty much the same as you copied. I could read W6BS and Sylvia. It's KS6WTF. Your XYL there, Tom, with a K9 Lucy. And looks like you're having a good time there over by the water. Yeah, this interference pattern is called a herringbone. It's kind of a jagged zigzag that's not uniform. It's pretty much throughout the entire picture. Now, the moire patterns that I normally see are kind of more uniform, kind of like a Fresnel lens type of thing. This type of pattern that you see on television images is more qualified as a herringbone. It tends to go zigzag and from left to right. And I did hear the weird. Also, it sounded like some extra tones that were not usual on. It wasn't a pure single tone that that's varying. It was more than one tone in there on that transmission. And if you looked at the spectroscope on MMSSTV, you were noticing that there was a good amount of signal above 2300, which is not present in normal slow scan pictures. So I think there was an extraneous signal in there that was interfering and causing perhaps some heterodyning, and that's why we're hearing more than one tone at the same time. So the normal slow scan TV image consists of a single tone that varies within that range. Now, if you have more than one tone, you can possibly have heterodynes and that kind of interference. So that's my guess. Back to net control. This is Kilo Papa 4 Mike Delta.
Thanks for providing insight into what you saw there. That's very interesting, herringbone. So thank you for that, and I will turn it over to Tom for a description. W6BS, go ahead, N6EMF.
All right, Whiskey 6 Bravo Sierra. The one thing I'm interested in the I considered the last time I did this there was a shade pattern as well. Right below the dog and us is a white line, maybe half an inch where I don't have an image. I'm just wondering if that became pure white for you guys. And it could be that I'm over-modulating the signal is a possibility. So this is a picture of us on our wedding anniversary in 2019 when life was good. We were up at Lake Tahoe with the dog, and the watercraft you see are 3 jet skis. We're on a dock that has a restaurant, and we're overlooking Lake Tahoe. And Sylvia's got her arms stretched out taking the overall all of us together picture with our sunglasses. It's sunny in our faces, and even the dog seems to be smiling. We always joke that she needs a call sign, so we always make her Canine Lucy. So that's the photo.
That's awesome. Oh, Canine Lucy, I can't get over that one. I'm going to have to check the FCC database on that one. So, which VE issued the license? Just kidding. But thank you for that, Tom. It's a wonderful photo, and keep the spirits up, keep the good times going to the extent possible. But that's a great photo. It's something to keep for a long time, for sure. N6EMF. Any other comments out there? All right. Here's what I would like to do. I would like to forego my opportunity to send a photo in the essence of time. I'll be interested in closing the net by 10 o'clock, so I can get on with getting my kids to bed and wrapping up for the evening. So before we do that, I want to just kind of wait and see if there's any other discussion out there. Go ahead, Neil, KL78QR, N6EMF.
I think I can speak for everybody on the net. You jumped in out of the blue sky to help Carol and to be in net control, and I think I noticed, and I'm quite sure everybody else does as well. You're getting much smoother. You're getting comfortable with it. You're doing a fantastic job, and I want to say thank you.
You're welcome, Neil, and appreciate your patience and appreciate the invitation to this is a great opportunity. It's exhilarating. I think all of us that do it, we have a lot of fun doing it. So yeah, thank you. Enjoy doing it. And any other thoughts or points or questions before we get ready to close up? N6EMF.
Whiskey 6 Bravo here. I was actually not going to do an image, Wilson, but I would not like you to forego your image. I'm trying to get better at receiving, so next time I will pass and make sure you can get a chance at it.
If you have a chance, I would vote for you to send your picture.
I'll go ahead and send it. How's that? I'll be sending Martin 1, I think, so here it goes. All right, N6EMF calling on Joel, AI6DG. Any questions or comments, or did you copy?
Copied fine. Something happened on the bottom half of the photo. I've got more of a moire pattern than on the top half. So I see sitting on a section of cement, probably a driveway, an engine attached to a transaxle. In the background is a round something or another, almost like a bucket sized, but I don't know what it is. It's got some holes at the bottom of it and kind of a rounded surface on the top. Is that, I don't know what that is. Maybe some tools between that and the transaxle. Looks like maybe there's a wooden ruler, a cord of some kind, maybe a wrench, maybe some used gloves on the left. I don't know, maybe a screwdriver halfway underneath the transaxle pointing down into the left. Maybe a strap. I can't really, there's a colored black and orange or red something going from the transaxle down towards the bottom. Looks like maybe the throttle body's been partially disassembled, pipes, probably fuel pipes for part of the fuel injection system on the top of the engine. Yeah, it must have been fun getting it out. I don't imagine it's ever fun and easy to remove an engine and transaxle, though if you've done it often enough, it may not be difficult. Would be for me, because it would be the first time. Back to net, AI6DG.
Okay, thank you, Joel. KL7HQR, Neil?
Well, being a software person and this being a piece of hardware, I will not go into descriptions, but the quality of the picture was, probably mine was better than Joel, because I don't see any wire or any other distortion except for the colorful bits and pieces here from the novel interference. But the very, very sharp picture, and I would assume it was an engine and a transmission, but I could not go any farther than that. A very good picture, over.
Oh, thank you, Neil. So far, KP4MD. Carol, go ahead.
Yeah, this is KP4MD. I could read on the cover of the something, a manifold or something. I could read the letters PORS, which I guess is beginning of the word Porsche. That's probably part of your Porsche car. And I can't recognize, it does look like a motor with like a transmission stuck on it. And that cylinder thing on the top, I'm going to take a guess. It's got some ventilation holes at the bottom, and it looks kind of a little bit discolored on the top. If this is a stainless steel uh, thing. I am guessing it's some kind of a stove or a furnace, and the heat probably caused the discoloration at the top. And I'm not quite sure what you would use that for, but I suppose it's something that you do when you're working on motors. So back to that. This is Kilo Papa 4 Mike Delta.
Awesome. Thank you, Carol. Tom, W6BS, were you able to copy?
Whiskey 6 Bravo Sierra. Yeah, I was able to copy. It was a really good image, good copy all the way across, but I lost the image. So fortunately, I can't upload it and show it off. I'm sure Carol has a great image of it as well. I could read PORS as well. It's on a black cover of some sort, and it does look like an engine and the transmission all put together, laying on perhaps a cement floor. That's about all I can remember because I don't have the image in front of me right now to go beyond that. But it came off really well.
All right, thank you, Tom. I'll let everybody know what this is. This is excitement more than anything else. Never mind the photo and all the things in it. This represents just a major milestone met in the history of ownership of my dream car. So I got this 99 Porsche that late last summer, Porsche 911 Carrera, late last summer developed diagnostic trouble codes and an engine check light. It started to idle a little rough, and I need to smog this car. It's my second year of ownership coming up in June, so I need to be able to smog this vehicle, and it will not pass the smog inspection with that problem. After researching it, I realized for the part that needs to be replaced, which is something called an air oil separator. It's between the engine and the transmission or the transaxle, and you can't even get to it without lowering the engine. And since there are other preventive maintenance items I wanted to take care of, I thought, well, why not just go ahead and drop the entire package and deal with everything at once and try to have it ready for the summer. And so that's what I've been preoccupied with the last few weeks. I've been working in the garage and outside in the cold, and actually it's more comfortable than working outside in the summertime when it's 100-plus degrees with all the smoke in the air that we experience over the last couple of years. But anyway, the way I stay warm is with that wood-burning stove there at the top of the photo. That is a really fantastic wood-burning stove. It's a brand called Solo Stove. The model is called the Ranger. It's a middle-sized stove. The only thing I don't like about it is you have to chop a full-size log in half or either cut it with a chainsaw to make it fit in there. But I burn scrap lumber and other things like that to keep myself warm while I'm working in the yard, whether it's trimming trees or just taking care of the outdoors or working on the car. So anyway, this was taken out of the car on Saturday. I finally got the engine out of the car on Saturday after accumulating numerous specialized tools and knowledge and information. Finally got the engine out of the car, and now I'm cleaning up pertinent surfaces that are heavily covered with grease, and I'm going to get that all squared away and start taking things apart so I can address the issue that I went through all this for. So let's see. The air oil separator is the horizontally opposed engine's solution to positive crankcase ventilation. So this is something that happens on these pancake engines. And speaking of pancake engines, my dad was a military guy, and I grew up working on old German cars with him. So I learned how to do this type of work, particularly on the older Volkswagens, which is very reminiscent. This is very reminiscent of the old Volkswagens in terms of how things bolt together and come apart. This car is 10 times more complicated and 10 times more expensive than a Volkswagen, but the memories are there, and I pretty much have a good handle on what to do. Let me see. I think I answered all the questions. Any other comments or questions?
Gale 7HQR, if I were to do this, I definitely would have enough parts left over to build me a Volkswagen.
All right, Neil. Well, I apologize. I always get your name confused with Joel's, but when it comes to working with my hands and mechanical things, I have a photographic memory, and I rarely get things out of place. So that's a hidden strength that I have. That this is one way I can capitalize on it.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Break. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's W6PMR. Paul, I've been just reading the mail. I also have a 99 Carrera and have done a lot of work on it over the years. In fact, I'm just getting ready to change the front wheel bearings out. And I was just wondering, what was wrong with the motor? Why did you pull it out?
If you look at the transmission, it's the automatic or the Tiptronic. So the engine, the air oil separator is where my intake leak is occurring. You can't even put your hand on the air oil separator without lowering the engine. Or in the case of what I'm trying to do, I decided to take it all the way out.
Oh, Roger. I have a 6-speed. I don't have the Tiptronic. And just another quick question before I go back to the mail. How many miles you got on the car?
I think I bought it around 70,000, and I've got about 84 on it. So I put 14,000 miles on it in about a year, maybe a year and a half. So I've been driving the heck out of it, and I typically go out with one or two of my sons, or at least one or two kids at a time, and we just go out for about 3 hours. We'll put 150 miles on it 2 or 3 times a week.
Okay, well, no, I've driven mine to L.A. several times. I've driven it to Colorado, and I've driven it to Las Vegas several times. I've done pretty much all the work. I haven't had to pull the motor out, and I haven't had to do the IMS bearing. But at any rate, it was just interesting to hear somebody else has a 99 Carrera. That's what I've got. And I literally pulled the car into the garage today, and I've been researching as much as possible on changing the wheel bearings. I've got a lot of books on the Porsche, and plus I went cruising through YouTube to see if I could get any other insights. And it doesn't look like anything I can't handle. I've got a lot of tools, and I've been tinkering with cars most of my life, so it hasn't been that hard working on it. All right, the name is Paul. I'm in Lincoln, and good luck on your Carrera.
Hey, thanks for reaching out, Paul. W6PMR, I think, and N6EMF. I'm Wilson. I'm in Rancho Cordova, and I have an ARRL email address. So if you want to get acquainted and talk about cars, I'd love that. I do belong to. Well, anyway, we can catch up later, but I'll be looking for you. How's that? N6EMF. Any other comments, questions out there? All right, so I want to express appreciation to the folks out there that have participated in the net, and let's see, we had a K6JGY Mike on YouTube. If you're still standing by, I express appreciation and give a shout out to you as well, so thank you. And so for now, I would like to again thank everybody who participated in the net, and we'll hope to see you again next Wednesday at 9 p.m. The net is officially closed at 10:06 p.m. Pacific Time. This is Wilson, November 6th, Echo Mike Foxtrot, wishing all of you a good evening. 73.